Congratulations on your new dog, Crystal. We're going to go ahead and start off showing you the equipment she's wearing. I have a 6-foot leash. You want about 6 or 5 feet. Anything shorter is going to be a little bit difficult to work with. Crystal, come here. Crystal, come. Sit. Okay. Now, Crystal's wearing a 20-inch choke chain. It's 3 millimeter thick. I'm going to go ahead and show you the proper way to put the choke chain on. Alright, and the pinch collar is also going to be a 20-inch. We'll get to that in a second. Now, dogs heel on our left-hand side. So she's always going to be walking on my left. The correct way to put this on, the loop that I'm going to attach to my leash, okay, is going to be on my left side. It's going to be a P shape, and it's just going to go right over her head. Okay, you don't want to put it on backwards. The loop should never be away from you. Okay, it should be right next to you. Come here, Crystal. Come here. Sit. Good girl. Now the pinch collar needs to be nice and snug. Okay. The pinch collar is going to go on just by simply taking one end, and you're going to pinch them together to fit into the other holes. Okay. Now this goes on as high up on her neck as possible, so it is going to be above the choke chain. All right. And then you center it, so you can go ahead and clip your choke chain and your pinch collar together. You're going to double clip these together, your choke chain and your pinch collar. Just as a safety precaution, pinch collars tend to pop off. So if you only have the pinch collar clipped and you don't have a choke chain clipped and it pops off, then you don't have a dog on a leash. Alright. The first thing we're going to show you, Crystal, come. Sit is sit. Okay. The command for sit is your hand facing the ground and you're bringing your palm straight up. Okay. The correction for sit is just a verbal command, no, and then you will pull up on the line, giving it tension. As soon as she sits, you're going to let the tension go and you're going to praise her. Tell her, good girl. Okay. Now we're going to do down. It's the opposite from sit. You're bringing your hand above and then straight down. Okay. You never want to point. It's always a full hand. Okay. You use your full hand for the commands. Okay. If she doesn't go down, it's the exact opposite. Crystal, come. Sit. The correction for down would just be a snap down. You say no, snap, down. Okay. Once she goes down, you're going to praise her. Good girl. That way you're marking the behavior right there, letting her know what she did was correct. And by snapping down and saying no, you're marking the negative behavior and showing her what she did was incorrect. Okay. Now, for come, we use her name. You notice I said that and she didn't move. She's used to hearing her name to get her attention. So we're going to call her. Crystal, come. Sit. Now the command for come is verbally calling her by her name, and you're going to go ahead and extend your arm out, your palm facing her, and then you're going to bring it towards your body. Okay. Once you call the dog, Crystal, come, you're going to tell her to sit, and you always want her sitting in front of you, giving her your attention. Good girl. So you're going to position her by showing her with your hand where you'd like her to sit when you tell her to come. Sit. Good. Crystal, come here. Sit. Good girl. Okay. By putting my hand in front of me, I'm showing her that this is the position I want her to sit. Alright. Now the correction for come, if she's not listening, is just a simple tug. You would call her by her name, Crystal, come. If she doesn't listen, you say no, snap, Crystal, come. Good girl. Sit. Good. Okay. Your corrections have to count. If you're not getting the dog's attention, make sure you snap with a little bit more firmness. Okay. Now heel is on the left. The command is heel and the pat on your left thigh. Okay. When you say heel, You walk, the dog should follow you on your left. Heel? No? Okay. When making right turns, if the dog doesn't follow, you snap across the body. Always say no with the snap. No. Heel. Sit. She should always sit on your left side. Okay. The heel command means walk on my left side, not behind me, not in front of me, but right next to me. Left turns, if the dog decides to herd you, herding is her simply just trying to push in front of you and guide you. You're going to bring your knees up and you're going to let her know that that's not the direction you're going. When your knees come up, you must say no so she understands what she's doing is wrong. Heel. No. No. Sit. Good. Now if the dog is too far in front of you, if I'm heeling and she's pulling me and she's away from me, I say no, I turn away and I snap into the direction I'm going. Okay? I never wait for the dog. I lead so she follows me. If she's not there, I'm going to correct her until she's where she needs to be. And when she's where she needs to be, I'm going to mark it and tell her good girl. And then I'm going to praise her. Good girl. Sit. Good. It's very important to balance your dog. Whenever you correct, you need to make sure that you mark the good behavior as well. Don't forget to praise. It keeps the dog in good spirits and keeps her having a great personality. Okay. So your corrections are tugs and snaps. You never pull. Your line should never be tight for a correction. That's pulling. You're not gonna get the correction through to her. Okay. The correction needs to be a firm snap with the word no. Sit. Okay. Now we're gonna teach you stay. Stay is your palm flat facing the dog. Okay. Whenever you tell her to stay, you never should put your hand over her. This is the down command. Okay, bringing your hand up, telling the dog to stay could be confusing, thus causing her to lay down. So if you want her to stay, you're going to go ahead and put your palm facing down. Okay, stay. You're going to start this off in baby steps. The first time I'm going to stay for a few seconds. I'm going to praise her, good girl. Stay. The second time I can leave her a little longer. Okay, I'm gaining trust, and she's going to trust that I'm going to come back for her. Good girl. Stay. This is the down stay position. In this position, she shouldn't move. She shouldn't sit up. She needs to lay. If she were to decide to move, I take her back to the position. Come here, Crystal. When I take her back, I need to correct her so that she understands that she messed up. So to correct her, to take her back, you would snap the whole way. You say no, 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 down, stay. You don't praise her right away. That way she can understand what she did was wrong. You give her a few seconds, then you go right back in. Good girl. Stay. And then you mark the good behavior. Okay. This is down stay. Now we're going to show you sit stay. Crystal, come. Sit. Good. Now this floor is a little slippery, so it's uncomfortable for her to sit. Come here, Crystal. Sit. So I'm going to use this pad so she doesn't slide. Good. Stay. In the sit-stay position, she should never lay down. She should always stay sitting. Stay seated. If she were to go down, you simply just say no, and you pull her back up. Okay? Go down. This. Okay. Then you say no. Sit. Come on, Crystal. Come, sit. Good. And then you would recommand her, tell her stay, and then go ahead and walk away for a few seconds. Go right back in. Praise her. Good girl. Stay. Once she respects you and she knows that she has to stay, you can leave her there for a few minutes. Keep in mind the sit-stay is kind of uncomfortable, so if you're going to leave her somewhere, have her down. Good girl. So we'll go over everything one more time. Sit. Stay. Crystal, come. Sit. Good. Down. Stay. Good. Crystal, come. Sit. Good. Heel. Come on. Sit. Good. Down. Stay. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go towards removing the leash. And the steps before you just unclip the leash and assume that she's going to obey you and respect you without a leash. The first thing you want to do is you want to let the leash drag. So you want to command her with the leash, heel. After you have her working great for a couple of weeks on the leash, go ahead and just let her drag the leash, heel. Okay. If she can work great with the leash dragging, good girl. Sit. And she's not giving you any trouble. Oh, come here. Come here, Crystal. Sit. Then you can go ahead and let her drag the leash for about a week or so. Then you're going to go ahead and just wrap the leash around their neck. Wrapping the leash kind of assures her that you still have control over her. So she feels the leash and the weight of it on her body still. So she feels like as if you're basically holding the leash. Okay. So you work her with the leash wrapped around her neck. You don't have any problems with her. She's obeying you. She's respecting you. She's walking by your side. She's coming back to you when you call her. Then you know finally you can unwrap the leash, unclip it. Okay, you're still going to leave your pinch collar on, and you're still going to leave your choke chain on. But now you no longer need to work her with the leash. Crystal, come. Sit.